Diversity, pluralism. These are popular terms in the 21st century. In our times, these terms tend to be aimed at promoting the idea that everyone should be able to identify themselves and express themselves as they choose. It means that there should be no cultural or religious standards because there is no single truth. And while Christianity certainly does not agree with that understanding of diversity and pluralism, it does celebrate the truth that God is at work to redeem and bring together diverse people from every tribe and language under the Lordship of Jesus Christ. Unity in Christ is a great truth that we learn about in the Bible. But it's hard to achieve in daily interactions, even with other Christians whose doctrine and culture are similar to our own. It's even harder worldwide. Personally, I look forward to the day when Jesus will bring unity to his church and to the world. Meantime, we live in a broken world and a fractured society. Throughout history, the standard solution to disunity is to enforce uniformity. It's just easier that way. When everyone's on the same page religiously and culturally, there are just fewer disagreements to divide people and cause trouble. The Romans enforced unity by allowing a lot of diversity in the details of people's lives while insisting on a unified loyalty to Rome as a political entity. In the Middle Ages, Western Europe began to coalesce around Catholic Christianity as a unifying faith. At the same time, a new unifying religion came out of nowhere in Arabia and spread into North Africa and the Middle East, and of course that was Islam. Unfortunately, both of these religious groups sometimes used force to promote unity in their societies. As Islam spread, it conquered lands that were formerly Christian, Egypt, Syria. It even blazed across North Africa to jump the Straits of Gibraltar and gobble up much of Spain and Portugal. Islam took possession of Jerusalem and the sacred sites of the Holy Land. So it was pretty much inevitable that sooner or later, Islam and Christianity would clash. The Eastern Christians in the Byzantine Empire, think the Roman Empire in its eastern provinces, they had been fighting a battle with Islam from the 600s on. But by the 11th century, it became clear that the Byzantines were in serious trouble. So they asked the Western Catholic Christians for help, and in 1095, Pope Urban II responded by proclaiming a holy crusade to retake these sacred sites. The Crusades were a series of military expeditions by Western Catholic Christians against the Muslims in the Holy Land. Although one of the Crusades ended up running amok and sacking Constantinople, the capital of Eastern Christianity. But all that aside, the First Crusade did conquer Jerusalem and much other territory, but after a couple of hundred years, Islamic armies, first under the Arabs and then under the Turks, had reconquered everything they had initially lost. The Crusades had many outcomes that we still feel today. Europeans gained an insatiable hunger for Asian goods. They were exposed to the intellectual and technical achievements of the Arabs and the cultures of India and China. They began to think about exploration as well. And they got on the stick and established the great university system that we still tap into. But the Crusades also greatly accelerated and deepened the bad blood between Muslims and Christians that we still see in the news nearly every day. The Crusades also tended to confuse people about the real nature of the central message of the Christian faith, and that's God's grace and love towards people through Christ. In the minds of many people, the good news became somehow bad news. For followers of Jesus in the 21st century, our job is to help people see that Jesus brings fabulous news of forgiveness, reconciliation, and new life. And that new life in Jesus can create harmony among people and lead to eternal life. And that really is good news. So come along with Melinda and me to Caesarea on the Mediterranean coast of Israel to see the ruins of a Crusader church and a functioning Islamic mosque nearly side by side. They serve as a stark reminder of the failure of Christianity when it's imposed by force. And then I have some words about prayer for harmony among the diverse peoples of the Holy Land and their need for some good news. We're standing in Caesarea, and this is a Crusader church built sometime in the late 11th century. Pope Urban in 1095 called for a crusade in which Christian knights were sent to the Holy Land to reclaim lands that had been captured by Islam. When they got here, they fortified this part of the city. They built this what's remains of this Crusader church. And of course, this is not Christianity at its best. This is not Christianity in its heart of grace. And the fact that this was built and built by force is probably not the brightest point in Christian history. Because within 200 years, I'll show you exactly what happened. When you try to establish Christianity by force, eventually people get very disillusioned, people get angry, and you end up like what happened to the Crusaders. They were replaced, they were driven out, and all of their gains swallowed up, left back with Islam, as we see behind us with that minaret. You cannot establish Christianity by force. You cannot force people to believe. You invite people to accept the grace and the love and the mercy and the abundance that comes with Jesus Christ. One thing we should mention in this amazing tour of the Holy Land is that Jewish people are not the only ones that live here. There are a lot of Arab people that live here as well, some Muslim, some Christian, as well as many others. I'm wearing this Arab headdress that I kind of got sold today by an Arab merchant, but it really reminds us of the large Muslim presence in this place. I'm standing in front of some olive trees. They represent the way that other people have been grafted into the line of Abraham, and especially those of us who have faith in Jesus are grafted in to the olive tree of Abraham's faith. So remember to pray for all the people of the Holy Land here in Israel.